Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the One Shit Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Speaks Not Herder. Joining me today is, of course, one of our co-hosts, Rick.
Was good.
It's been a bit of a hot minute since we last talked. Apologies for the unexpected break, but we're into September. Good riddance to August. Roll on fall. Let's get started because we haven't talked in a long time, we missed a lot of announcements. So let's break it all down. Starting, of course, being the Pokemon Presents that aired early in August. Just to recap, the first segment was touching on Worlds in Yokohama, and during that segment was an announcement of the animated series based on the TCG called Past the Peak, which consists of over 4 episodes, and all 4 episodes are up now on Pokemon's YouTube channel and Pokemon TV. I need to watch the rest because I only watched the first episode and I really liked it. Like, the animation...
I haven't even touched it.
Go watch it. It's really good. The animation is really good, too. I saw screenshots of it on Twitter, and it looked amazing. So I need to catch up. Following Worlds is proper gameplay for Detective Pikachu Returns, showcasing some of the puzzles, including some Pokemon that you will need to use to help you solve them, like Growlithe and Duranitan. And also some additional characters were shown in that trailer, such as Tim Goodsman's family. And this game looks good, honestly. I really liked the first one. The amount of comments that I've seen in videos of people that haven't played the original Detective Pikachu makes me sad on the inside because, I mean, granted, it came out so late in the 3DS's lifespan. Like, it didn't come to North America until 2018, a year after the Switch release, so by the time that came out, the 3DS was starting to fall into obscurity. So now,
yeah, I'm part of that people. I haven't played it.
Honestly, I would love to see an enhanced port of the first Detective Pikachu come to the 3DS. That's the 3DS, the freaking Switch. What am I talking about? Like, I don't know how I said that. I mean, it is possible that it could happen now that Nintendo is interested in doing enhanced ports of 3DS games on the Switch with Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon coming next year, so maybe the original Detective Pikachu will get the same treatment? I hope so, because that game deserves a second life. It was great. But following that is a slightly updated trailer for the Pokemon Horizon stuff, but there's still no new release or there was not even any further mentions of it in the English version of the presentation. In fact, the only thing new that was shown in that trailer was some new footage for Terrapagos. But that was it. Which is a little strange. Alright, next up is, of course, Pokemon Go. They recapped the Go Fest events that happened last month, along with the addition of Pokemon from Paldea being added this month. Still no sign of the Galar starters. That's so weird to me. Like, we're going straight from Alola to Paldea starters?
Yeah, like, I wanna know, like, what do the Galar starters do to Niantic? Because why are they not adding them? Like, why are you going shit up Paldea? That's like so weird.
Like, it's so weird to me. Like, I get that they want to be, up to date with all the Pokemon and whatnot, but you gotta add Gen 8 as well. Like, you can't just skip it. I'm sure they'll add it at some point, like for a community day for whatnot, but that's still so weird. I don't get it. And then Pokemon Unite had an event recap along with the Panic Parade mode, as well as the addition of Mewtwo with both of its Mega Evolutions. And from comments I've seen, Mewtwo is absolutely busted.
Yeah, it's actually broken. Both forms, both Mewtwo X and Mewtwo Y is just dominating. At Worlds it was banned, but like playing like ladder is just absolutely like not fun.
It just sounds unfair.
They also announced new Pokemon that's coming out, apart from Blaziken, who's coming out this September. I forgot what.
Right.
Day.
Actually,
they announced Mimikyu, Meowscarada.
Right.
I forgot who the other one was, but there was 3 of them.
Right. Because they announced Mimikyu, Blaziken, and Meowscarada during the closing ceremony at Worlds.
Yeah.
All right. And then following the next segment was Masters, which of course talked about Nimona and Palmont being added to the game, along with the new sprint role and an additional event that can allow players to get Victor and Spectrier. That's still such a random pair to me. Like, you mean to
Yeah,
tell
it's funny. It's kind of funny.
you mean to tell me that the Victor's gonna get an alt, but no new outfit like many of the other alts. He's just getting Spectrier with no new outfit. So weird. And like the
I
event,
find it kind of funny because like Pokemon Masters, they kind of tend to like with like the main characters they pair with like the legendaries, but like they didn't pair as well with like Glory and Victor.
I mean, granted, this one you don't have to scout for. You just got to play through one story event, and he's yours. Like that's literally the first thing you do when you play that event is just straight up immediately unlock Victor and Spectrier, and then the battle area is get unlocked afterward. So at least you can actually get this one without having to spend your gems, but it's still really weird to me. But granted, this is not a new practice for this game either, because there were plenty of other free sync pairs that were given up via these special events. So I don't know. It's still really weird to me, especially since we're talking about a fucking legendary Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. Like, Spectrier is amazing. I love it. So I'm glad it's in the game. All right, following that is Kappa Remix as it's adding Tatsugiri to the game. Cool. I haven't played it in a bit, and that's all I got. And then we did get some retro re-releases during the presentation with the Game Boy version of Pokemon Trading Card Game and Stadium 2. We absolutely saw TCG coming. I think that was pretty expected, especially since it was confirmed to be coming to Nintendo Switch Online earlier this year in the February Nintendo Direct, so that comes as no surprise. But Stadium 2 getting shadow dropped at the same time did take me a little bit by surprise. I mean, granted, this is something that we've known since last year, so again, not a big surprise. But it's great that we finally got both at the same time. And finally, for the live service games, Pokemon Sleep had its first big event in the form of the Good Sleep Day event, which makes Snorlax's drowsy power much stronger on nights with a full moon, like we just had earlier this week. I wish I had good sleep scores, because that would have been amazing for finding more sleep styles. But what do I know?
Yeah, I did get like a lot of good sleep scores. I was getting like 100 the whole week, but still, I keep getting repeats and dozing style for some reason, which it's almost making me throw my phone out of the room.
Yeah, like and also earlier this week, to commemorate 10 million downloads, they give away a lot of free stuff, which included a good camp ticket. So I used that for my first time through Tape Hollow, and I am not liking this area so far.
Yeah, I unlocked it and still haven't gotten there because I still don't want to. I kind of want to like level up my Pokemon.
Yeah,
still,
focus on
yeah,
leveling up your team before you take on Tape Hollow, because the recommended team RP that the game lists is like over 4,000, and I'm barely getting into 3,000. So it's probably not a bad idea to go back to one of the earlier areas like Greengrass Isle or Sand Beach before taking on some of the latter areas. And also regarding Pokemon Sleep, I think a Halloween event is going to be coming later this month, if I'm not mistaken. Which
yeah, I think I saw something about.
Let me check here, because I did send a link about that on Discord. Yeah, according to Cerebi, Halloween event is coming to Pokemon Sleep next month, which will, of course, feature Ghost-type Pokemon come into the game during Sleep research. So it sounds like this will be the first time we get more Pokemon added to the game post-launch.
Yeah.
Which the game really, really needs, because that small list is starting to become an annoyance.
Yeah, it really sucks when you're like trying to get a new Pokemon in and all you get is fucking 4 Caterpies, which happened to me.
Yeah, the amount of repeats I've been getting has been kind of discouraging. A lot of them are even the same sleep styles, so either we need a change in the encounter table, or if you just need more Pokemon in general. Take one or the other. I'd take the latter, because we need more Pokemon. Alright. Getting back on track with the Pokemon Presents, as a new 4-episode web anime series based on Scarlet Violet called Paldean Winds was shown off as well, with the first episode coming later this month on the 6th, so we don't have much longer to wait. It's coming on Wednesday, so that's awesome. The trailer they showed it looked awesome. And
It looked absolutely fire.
yeah, and this series is gonna be animated by Wit Studio, so that's awesome. All right, let's run to lots of Scarlet Violet stuff. First things first, the Mew distribution that the show talked about as well. And it's excuse me, as they are giving us out to prepare for the current 7-star raid event in Mewtwo. I will put the code on screen right now as this distribution is still active, and this goes until September 17th. It is highly recommended to bring Mew, as when you bring Mew to a Mewtwo raid, Mew gets a massive buff. Like, we're talking 50% boost to HP and 20% boost to the rest of its stats. So that just makes Mew the ideal Pokemon to use in this raid. And if you use Mew against Mewtwo, it too will get the Mightiest mark.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found out about that when the raid event started last night, and apparently it is indeed very fucking difficult.
Yeah, I saw the Mewtwo's move pool, and I think instead of going with Terra Dark, you go Terra Ghost because it has Aura Sphere.
Yeah, Terra Ghost might be ready to go. I've also saw Terra Bug get recommended because
Yeah, Terra Bug is also a good move because if it throws an Aura Sphere, it's gonna resist, and like, Psychic's not really good against Bug.
yeah. Plus, Mewtwo only has like 6 EVs in special defense, but maxed out EVs in defense. And it has freaking Calm Mind. Also, the most evil thing about this is the fact that it has Rest and holds a Chesto Berry.
No, I think that's really fucked up because why
That
are
is-
you giving Rest to Mewtwo? Are
And
you
like,
serious?
and like the shield covers like 50% of its HP. That's nuts. And it also sets up like several Calm Minds in a row. So, yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, I remember when the first like 7-star raid came out and it was like Charizard, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is really hard" and all of that. And then someone found the trick where you could just use a Flutter Mane and then like cheese it with yourself. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, people have found ways to solo those raids, but from what I could tell,
And like every single raid after that was also like not really challenging. But then like out of nowhere, they're like, okay, let's give Rest with the Chesto Bear because
Yes.
we're really cool like that.
yeah, so it seems like this one is not going to be possible to be soloed. So you're going to have to team up with some people to take this thing down. But the rewards you get are really, really good. But still,
Yeah, I saw that like if you beat it, you get like 100 Psychic Terra Shards.
yeah, you get 100
absolutely
Psychic
crazy.
Terra Shards, 3 gold bottle caps.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's insane. Those rewards are only for your first victory. You can't get more of those in repeats.
Yeah, I feel like the repeats is just like candy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, let me see here. So yeah, according to Sarah, the base drops are 10 EXP KDLs, 4 XLs, and the ones you can get only once are King's Rock, Bright Powder, the aforementioned 3 gold bottle caps, 3 ability patches, and 100 Psychic Terra Shards.
3 ability patches, that's really good.
Yeah, that's really freaking good.
But then again, they decided to be really funny and give it Rest with the Chesto Berry.
Yeah, I saw that the recommended strat is to bring Mew with, I think it was Misty Terrain, so that you can prevent Mewtwo from using Rest. Like I saw,
I think that would work. Yeah.
yeah, because I saw a guide on how to beat it on YouTube last night from Austin John Plays, and looks like that might be the most optimal strat to do it.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about maybe you could like use like moves where like that would like nullify the berry with like Pluck and Thief, but those moves are not even in the game, so you can't even cheese it like that.
Yeah, and plus, don't even bother bringing your Pokemon with a berry because Mewtwo has Unnerve.
Yeah, just bringing items isn't gonna help.
Yeah.
I personally would say you use a cover cloak so you don't get your stats dropped.
Yeah. I've seen Acid Spray get recommended to to nullify those calm mines, but also Struggle Bug to continuously keep a special attack down.
Yeah, that could also work, especially if you pair it with a Terror Bug.
Yeah, exactly. So like
a
that.
little bit more DPS.
Yep. And if you time your Misty Terrain right, you can completely get through without having Mewtwo going to sleep. So people have found.
I feel like a little bit through like a couple of days, maybe you're gonna find like a way to beat it alone. But like so far, I think you just have to 14 it.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like this one might not be able to be done solo, but you never know. It's only been, as of when we're recording this, only been active for 24 hours, and people have already found a strat to do in groups. So we're only going to be learning more as time goes on, as this event's going to be going on for a while. And
yeah, I feel like with that amount of time, like someone's gonna figure out something. But like you can't even like do it like online, for example. You should try like find other people because like not even like most of the times you can like guarantee other people are like they're gonna do like strats, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So doing the randos might not be the greatest idea.
I feel like you just got if you go for randos, you just gotta get really lucky.
Yeah, you gotta get absurdly lucky. And and given how difficult Terror raids are in general compared to max raids, you're gonna be in for a rough time if you try to go with randos, and everyone does not know the optimal strat. And like before this event started, they had a few smaller events to help players prepare for Mewtwo. The first one was a more offensive raid event, and the other focused on defensive items. And the repeat runs are active now with Mewtwo, and all of it goes until the 17th. And just like the past 7-star raids, when you defeat Mewtwo, you can only catch once. So use your Pokeball wisely. All right. And the last segment for the presentation was, of course, more info for the Scarlet Violet DLC, such as in the new instructor from Blueberry Academy named Briar, who is going to be taking us to Kitakami, which is, of course, the location for the Teal Mask. Side note, PSA, the Teal Mask is apparently getting leaked, so just be aware of spoilers that you might find online.
Yeah, if you don't like leaks, I would say that you just avoid Twitter.
Yeah, or Reddit, or anywhere, really.
Yeah, I guess you just gotta really turn off your Wi-Fi.
Or just go on a social media blackout. Or something, I don't know. Like, this is just so petty.
Really, like, it also like spreads really quickly on YouTube because YouTubers obviously they wanna make that.
Yeah, like this is just so petty to me because the Teal Mask is gonna be out in 2 weeks. It's coming on the 13th, and it's leaking now. Like, that's just crappy in my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like even like with Nintendo like threatening people like, oh, we're gonna like take you down if you like leak this and that, but like people are like they're still finding ways to leak it.
Yeah, it's shitty to me. Like, I mean, granted, I have such a negative opinion on leaks, and not everyone, of course, feels the same. But can these people just wait 2 weeks? Apparently, that's impossible to ask. Impossible for some people. Right. Anyway, but getting back on track here, as while on Kitakami, we'll be of course meeting Carmine and Kieran, and during this part of the presentation, we got to see 4 new Pokemon. One for the Teal Mask, and the remaining 3 were found in the Indigo Disc. First up is actually a new evolution of Applin in Diplin.
Excuse me, Driplin.
Yeah, like, funny thing about that, I almost timed Driplin when I was finding the notes.
Because the name is Driplin. He has the drip.
It's great. It's such a great name, might I add. So it's, of course,
I'll definitely be naming mine Driplin.
fair. So much like the rest of the Applin line, it is Grass Dragon with either Gluttony, or they do Super Sweet Syrup for its ability. Super Sweet Syrup lowers the evasiveness of the opposing Pokemon upon entering the battle. This could definitely help nullify like double team spammers and whatnot. So that's gonna be
Yeah, I think it's a really helpful ability in doubles.
yeah, it's definitely in doubles, and even for lower accuracy moves, this is gonna help a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of scary. Like if Dripling actually gets like sleep powder, that's kind of scary.
Then it's over. It's
And,
just
and if you give it like a focus lens, yeah, it's pretty much over.
yeah, that it's Jover at that point.
That's Jover. It's so Jover.
All right, and Diffwood is also capable of learning a new move called Syrup Bomb, which is a special grass type move that lowers the target speed for only 3 turns. It's in that it's not a permanent speed reduction like Mudshot, for example. Whatever. This is a great Pokemon. I love how they made it a candy apple. I think that is so cool. It's so cute. And I imagine that the shiny is probably going to be green, just like the rest of the apple line.
Imagine they make it different and like make it yellow or something.
I wouldn't mind that either, because Scarlet and Violet continues the trend of having shinies that barely change.
Yeah, I hate that. That's absolutely so bad.
Alright, moving on, as Duraludon is getting an evolution called Archaludon. I did not see this coming at all. Like, that's too...
Honestly, like I'm not even like focused on the evolution itself. I'm focusing about the fact that Duraludon can now use a Eviolite, and the fact that if Nintendo or Game Freak somehow decide to bring Little Cup back, it's over. It's actually Jover. You're gonna see Duraludons everywhere.
Duraludon's gonna dominate the Little Cup if it comes back.
It's gonna become Uber straight up.
Seriously. But anyway, of course, a Steel Dragon with either Stamina or Authority for its ability. And Archaludon can learn a new move called Electroshock, which is a very powerful special electric type move that requires a turn to charge, but can be fired immediately if used in rain. Kind of a unique move.
Yeah, I think I really like the design as well. Like when it attacks, it becomes like a bridge.
Yeah, it's a really cool design. I think of all the new Pokemon, that's definitely up there as one of my favorites.
I think like design wise, it's really good.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And of course, we got 2 new Paradox Pokemon in Raging Bolt for Scarlet and Iron Crown for Violet.
Yeah, Raikou just became long neck.
And the memes for Raging Bolt. I love both of them, but I think Iron Crown might easily be the fan favorite. But they didn't go over the details of Raging Bolt and Iron Crown during the presentation. We had to wait a few weeks to get it, which is actually no, it was just during the closing ceremony of Worlds.
Yeah.
So Raging Bolt is Electric Dragon with a new signature move in Thunderclap, which is just an electric type version of Sucker Punch. And Iron Crown is Steel Psychic with its own signature move and Tachyon Cutter, which is a 2-hit physical steel type move with a guaranteed hit. That's insane.
That's really good. Like toward the, I can't like I saw that I was like I don't believe this.
Like I personally like the Scarlet Paradox Pokemon more, but in this case of Raging Bolt and Iron Crown takes the cake, honestly. Even though I really
yeah, I do really like Iron Crown.
Yeah, it's really cool. Now, this just has me wondering if Entei and Terrakion are going to get Paradox forms as well to complete each respective trio.
Honestly, like I really hope what they do is that when they announce like more information about the Indigo Disc, they like, announce those 2, because then it will like close the trio.
It's very possible. It is very possible.
I hope they just don't like toss him out and be like, nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that would be such a missed opportunity. Especially since there's just 1 member left for each trio, so it would be a little crappy if that didn't happen.
Imagine how cool it would be, like a futuristic robotic Terrakion.
That would be dope. I mean,
and then you do whatever you want with Entei. You turn it into like pterodactyl or something like that.
Oh my god, could you imagine? Like, Walking Away becomes like a raptor, and then of course, Raging Bolt is Long Neck. So who knows what Entei could become. I could honestly see a Saber-Tooth Tiger.
That would be sick. But I think they would do that with Raikou.
I
I
mean,
think that would be my thing.
yeah, because Raikou does kind of give off Saber-Tooth Tiger vibes, but we know how that became.
I don't know. Maybe they turn the Entei into a T-Rex and we don't even know.
It's possible they could go that too, but I don't think they want to do two Long Necks again.
Yeah.
Because it would be a little too similar.
Yeah, that's why I say turn it into a pterodactyl. That would be pretty fire. No pun intended.
I see what it did. But yeah, if they do, then I think it's pretty safe to say what their types would be like. And
yeah, it would probably be just fire flying. Yeah.
I mean,
if it was a pterodactyl, yeah.
I mean, do I even need to say?
I don't know. Maybe some Pokemon sometimes they kind of miss the typing in some Pokemon.
All they could just throw curveballs to throw off the expected. So who knows? Anyway, moving on from that, as moving on to Terapagos actually, because while this was not mentioned in the presentation, what we thought was going to be the pre-evolution is actually just a normal form for Terapagos, while the form that we've been used to since February is the Terastal form.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird. I wanted to see an evolution, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense when you really think about it.
And yeah, now that they revealed the new Terra thingy, it kind of makes sense because it has everything on the shell, every single type.
Yeah, and given that Terapagos is gonna have a Terastal form, they also tease a potential Terastal form for Ogerpon as well, because they showed it terastalized in the trailer, and it did look a little different. So I think it is also getting a Terastal form as well, in addition to the unmasked form that they teased in the same trailer. Anyway, a couple of new characters, actually one or two more characters for the two unmasked is Perrin, who is a photographer that we will be helping to take photos of Pokemon. We got our Adamant descendant, and my god, she was so attractive. I was
kind here the Sims go again. They attack.
For the first 2 days of us knowing about Perrin, I was doing nothing but retweeting art of her.
Yeah, it's as soon as artists see it, they're like, I gotta get to work.
Exactly. She won my heart over.
They know what the community wants.
They do. They know.
It's always like this.
I mean, considering that we got an Adamant descendant in the Two Masks, could we possibly see an Aerodent descendant? And
what if it's actually both?
Good point.
It could be
possible, but it's definitely more heavily lenient toward Adamant. Anyway, we also got to see a new minigame during this part called Ogre Alston that will have us running around to pop Ogre Pops to earn Mochi, which are new items that can affect your Pokemon's EVs. And there will also be a Mochi that will just straight up reset your Pokemon's EVs so they can start EV training all over again. That's going to be convenient, actually.
They really got VGC players playing mini games now. Oh my god.
I do wonder how many we're going to be getting. I imagine that's probably going to be based on how we score for each attempt. Anyway, Roto Stick is gonna be added so we can get a wine and girls for our selfies. They added a selfie stick to the game. That's funny.
I personally think they're kind of late on the trend.
Better late than never. That's all I say.
Fair.
And then you can also have your Pokemon stay in place while you have them out, which will make it much easier to take photos with them. So that's great. And then something else that was not touched on in the presentation itself, but mass outbreaks are going to be added as events, with the first one going to be featuring Clefairy from September 28th through October 1st. And now moving on to the Indigo Disc, as the Blueberry Academy has its own league called the BB League. And they also revealed the top students who called themselves the Elite Four, which consists of Lacey, Crispin,
Best
Amaris.
character. She's the best character.
We got Amaris and Drayden. And there will be in the Blueberry Academy, we will be special trials that we can participate in, which includes one that can allow Koraidon and Miraidon to fly, with the possibility that we could fly around full time upon potentially completing the Indigo Disc story. I hope that's the case.
That would
Because
be really nice.
As much as I enjoy gliding, it's just gliding, and after a little while, you just straight up fall after gliding for a long time.
Yeah, I hate that so much. You're trying to get somewhere, and then like you're almost there, but then like Miraidon or Koraidon just like slowly falls, and you're like, no.
Yeah, so it makes air travel much more difficult as a result. So I'm glad that they're adding this and potentially allowing us to use it full time after a certain threshold. So that's gonna be probably the biggest quality of life improvement that come out of the Indigo Disc. Following that is our own little club room, and we can even customize it as well. So that's gonna be cute. And Pokemon throwing styles are making a comeback from Gen 7. That's great. I love this little bit of personality that we can add to our characters. That's a nice return. I like that. And it's gonna be possible to invite other characters to the Blueberry Academy to be our instructor and even be able to challenge them to battle, such as the gym leaders, as they shown in the trailer. I hope that Miriam is one of the characters. I need more interactions with her. And yes, that is my simp talking.
The simp take over again.
I mean, you can get more interactions with Grusha. The way you got off.
We're keeping that a secret.
The way you cut off was so funny. They didn't give a release date for the Indigo Disc yet, but of course we got the release date for the Teal Mask, which was again September 13th, like we highly expected. I think this was a great presentation, even though it was pretty predictable.
Yeah, we kind of knew what we were gonna get. It was like, look at these third-party games news. Yeah, cool. And then they straight up go to DLC, and that's it.
Yeah, so I do think it was much better paced than the presentation that we got back in February.
I don't know why. Like I remember like before the Presidents came out, people were like, "Oh no, this is the day we're gonna get like Gen 3, Gen 2 games." I was like, "There's no way you're believing it.
The problem with you is you're completely delusional."
You're completely delulu."
Like, I said it time and time again. I think if they will come to Switch, just not on NSO. I really should just get back to making a video about that because there's a lot more to it than some might realize.
Yeah, they would really like to like instead of just putting it in NSO, they like monetize it further and like turn it into like a pack and like sell it.
Like, yeah, that's the direction I feel like it should go. Because I don't see I don't like the idea of a main series Pokemon game being launched behind a subscription. And plus, the NSO apps support cloud saves, and none of the mainline Pokemon games on the Switch do so. And
Yeah, I'm like obviously I'm not a really big fan of cloud saves, and if they put Pokemon as a cloud save, that would be really.
yeah, and plus they'll probably want to have Pokemon Home compatibility as well. Like,
That's another big point that like a lot of people don't like catch on.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it will happen in due time, just not in the way that many people expect it to.
Yeah, like, and we don't even know because like so far, at least from my point of view, like the Switch like point of like life standing is kind of like a question mark. Like, are Nintendo gonna like announce a new home console or not like next year?
Yeah, like that's gonna be an interesting year to watch out for not just Nintendo but also for Pokemon as well, because it's very possible that we are gonna get another mainline game next year, and with all the reports about the Nintendo's next console coming out next year as well, it's gonna be an interesting year to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like next year is like a big question mark, not just for like Pokemon, but like for Nintendo as well.
Yeah, exactly what I was just saying.
Because like most people believe that Tears of the Kingdom was like the last big game of the Nintendo Switch, and apparently it's not.
Yeah, as the June Nintendo Direct clearly showed. And plus, like, they just had a direct for Super Mario Bros. Wonder earlier this week, so clearly there's still a lot of projects in the work for the Switch, so who knows what next year's gonna look like. But anyway, getting back on track here, as the presentation was not the only time where we got some new announcements during the month of August, as we touched on from time to time, as they had some announcements during the closing ceremony of Worlds. We touched on the Unite stuff and the details for Raging Bolt and Iron Crown, but also some more Scarlet Violet information came out during this time as well, like some new moves with Upper Hand and Psychic Noise. These moves seem busted, especially Upper Hand.
Yeah, Upper Hand is getting me scared.
It's
That right there is kind of scary. If it's like actually like a sucker punch that can flinch all the time, that's actually like breaking.
Yeah,
Game
like
breaking.
it gets higher priority because this could go
It
for
gets like yeah, like it goes before like fake out sucker punch. So like that's like immediately a game changing move.
and it's a guaranteed flinch too.
Yeah, like that's even scarier. Like and the fact that like the big cat is coming back. I hope not. It does not get that move, or else my Nintendo Switch will be flying away from the house.
I can always see a lot of people be like, I'm in danger. I had to do it. Alright, and of course, Psychic Noise is a special psychic type move that deals damage and sets up a heal block. That is also.
How nice.
Alright. And then one of the bigger highlights for the trailer was all the starters are coming back. We predicted this for the presentation, but they didn't show that during the presentation. Instead, they showed that during the closing ceremony of Worlds. And, oh my god, I am so fucking happy. Like, if any of y'all saw my reaction video to that, then you know that I popped off kind of hard on that.
Oh my god.
Like, I think you could probably vouch for that.
I feel like it was due to happen, to be honest.
I'm just glad it did, because
It's really nice, yeah.
it just makes sense to have all the starters in one game.
And like a lot of like starters didn't even make their like Nintendo Switch debut.
Yeah, not until now.
They're making it now, yeah.
And we can catch at least most of them in the wild in the Indigo Disc. Which we haven't. I mean, granted, we've been able to catch starters in the wild in Pokemon games since, I think, Sun and Moon with the Island Scan. No. X and Y with the Friend Safari.
But yeah, and unfortunately, yeah, Litten is in the game. That's really unfortunate.
I mean, my favorite Pokemon's back in the game, so I'm happy about that. Alright, and then
I personally think they should, out of the Alola stars, they just keep popping around it. They just keep letting them to the side. That would be really nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but Game Freak loves chaos.
And I think the bigger highlight during that trailer was the teaser of a 19th Terra type. This is going to be interesting. What are our thoughts about what this could be?
Yeah, like I don't even know. Like, what are they thinking with this? Like, is that gonna have any like strengths or weaknesses? Is it gonna just be like a normal type of thing?
Yeah, they were very vague about it. They showed a little bit of footage of it, but didn't actually go into very many specifics.
That would be really funny if that move was strong against everything and weak against everything. Possible. That would just be really funny.
Possible. I bet that with this 19th Terra type, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the Terra type for Terrapagos when we battle it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And maybe even Ogerpon as well, but we don't know yet. It's only 2 weeks away, so don't have to wait much longer. And finally, the location for Worlds 2024 was revealed to be Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yeah, like personally, I'm not a big fan of it because of what happened recently with Hawaii.
Yeah, the timing was a little unfortunate. I mean, they had this in
I really think that they planned this like before it happened, but like the timing
obviously.
was like, really bad.
Yeah,
The
the
timing
timing
is
was just
just really bad.
awkward. The timing was very, very awkward for a multitude of reasons. And of course, my heart does go out to everyone that was affected. And the Pokemon Company is donating to help with the relief of the wildfires over there, which is great. The people over there need all the support they can get.
Yeah, prayers to them.
Absolutely. And finally, for August, a little over a week after Worlds concluded, came the reveal of another new Pokemon in Poltergeist. So we have another convergent species. This one for Sinistea and Poltergeist. This one's gonna be
A little silly guy.
I love it, honestly. It's so cute.
It's so cute until you die.
It's gonna be a grass ghost type with a brand new ability called Hospitality, which restores a bit of HP to its ally upon entering a double battle. This is gonna be a great support Pokemon, I feel like. Just
Yeah,
based
depending on
that
the
alone.
move, like personally, it's gonna get like a lot of good like support moves because it's the grass type. It would be kind of scary if it gets like Spore. Then like it's probably game
True.
over.
True.
That'll be game over right there. But it probably
Yeah,
will get like some good support moves.
yeah, exactly. And they actually did a lot of teasing for this Pokemon during Worlds itself, as I saw plenty of creators get shown that teaser for the build up to Poltergeist on Twitter during the week of Worlds. This was a great teaser campaign, honestly.
I agree.
But this was just a very busy month for Pokemon in general, after a pretty quiet June and July. So I'm definitely glad that we got this much stuff, and it's only gonna continue with, of course, the Teal Mask coming on the 13th, and then of course the hype train for the Indigo Disc will only get faster. And
Yeah, I
honestly,
wonder when it's gonna come out. Probably next year.
like they did say winter 2023, so I imagine that's probably going to be December. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it would be January 2024.
Yeah, I'm throwing towards like January. To be honest.
Yeah, like
Although like with the past DLC, they did Isle of Armor was like June, I think, and
yeah,
then
Isle of Armor was
Crown
June,
Tundra
and
was like October.
yeah, Crown Tundra was October, and that was like a 4-month gap or so. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a similar wait or maybe even sooner.
Yeah, probably like a 3 or 4 month gap.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to bet that it will be December.
Yeah, it's probably December. If you think about it, like if it's like a 4 month gap, then it would be like it would align with December.
Yeah. And like I said already, they did explicitly say winter 2023, so it wouldn't surprise me that if it is December, but at the same time, January 2024 wouldn't be a surprise neither. But if they wanted to keep both packs within 2023, then December is the only time frame to do it if they want to say winter, because November technically counts as fall. So
Yeah,
and like December is the only
and then winter
winter
is
month
like
at the end of the year.
December,
So
January, February.
it's like that like all but confirms a December release when you think about it that way. But then again, they could always surprise us.
They always could throw a curveball.
Yeah. And the release that on a Wednesday. So I imagine that it's probably going to be similar for the Indigo Disc. Like, could you imagine if it came out like December 13th? Like exactly
Yeah,
exactly 3 months later.
that would be kind of funny.
Wouldn't be surprising either. Because they like to release their big stuff, like main series games and its DLC, in the middle of a month. So that time frame just makes sense.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to wait and see on that. But I am so excited for the Teal Mask. I'm excited to see which Pokemon are going to be coming back, as well as the story. I'm very intrigued about Ogerpon, as well as the what kind of roles Okidogi, Fenton Dippity, and Monkey Dory are gonna have in the story. I still haven't fully memorized the names of the bears, and yet,
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see like if they're gonna announce like any other new evolution or like another convergent species that they haven't announced.
I highly doubt that we're getting any more announcements for the Teal Mask because
Yeah, I know we're
it's
not
so
gonna like.
close.
Yeah, we're not gonna get any new announcements, but I'm like hoping like as soon as we get to play, we're gonna see like those type of things, like new evolutions and like convergent species.
Yeah. But at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if Diplin and Poltergeist were the only convergent species that we get for the Teal Mask.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't. I think like as for convergent species, yeah, probably.
Yeah, because if we look at Sword and Shield's DLC, that didn't add a lot of new Pokemon either. But Scarlet Violet's DLC is already outdoing Sword and Shield in terms of new Pokemon being introduced specifically with the DLC.
And it has better trees.
Okay. But yeah, this is like generally on a much larger scale, seems like, compared to Sword and Shield's DLC, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I feel like compared to like Sword and Shield DLC, I feel like this is like times 3 better.
Yeah, like, Sword and Shield was definitely a step in the right direction, and Scarlet Violet's DLC is always shaped up to be even better.
Yeah, it's not like the whole thing that like how they like say like the Sword and Shield DLC was kind of like beta for like Legends Arceus and stuff like that. But I also feel like it was like beta for like DLC for further Pokemon games.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think I said it already, but Gen 8 as a whole was a very experimental generation, and going into Gen 9, we're starting to see which parts of Gen 8 were truly worked out and got to stick, and what parts didn't and got left behind.
Yeah, that's why I like no matter what happens, I always trust Game Freak because it was like the first mainline Pokemon game in a home console. So, like like they're bound to like make mistakes,
Yeah, and
and
like,
like they learned all of those mistakes and like got all of that good stuff from like Sword and Shield and put into Scarlet and Violet.
yeah, exactly. Like, Gen 8 as a whole was a massive learning experience for the Pokemon Company as a whole. And so I
Yeah, because
imagine
like
that,
if you compare, that was like the first time they put like a Pokemon game in like a mainline Pokemon game in like a home console because like before it was just like their handheld.
yeah, exactly. And the occasional spin-offs like Coliseum and XD, for example. Even
Yeah,
though those weren't Game Freak titles, they still played a lot like a mainline game. Side note, can we get a remaster of those games, please?
that would be fire.
Like, I have Coliseum,
Actually,
but
I actually would love to see if they bring Pokemon Battle Revolution. Then we have a game.
just that whole trilogy of Coliseum, XD, and Battle Revolution, chef's kiss.
Plus, Poke Park 1 and 2, please.
Oh my god. Like, I would kill for a remake of the first two games.
I've actually been waiting for years. I want this to happen.
Like, if they can remake the first Pokemon Mission Dungeon, then give us Poke Park, please. It would make such a natural fit on the Switch.
True.
Pain. But yeah, that's all of Pokemon in August. Like I said, quite a very, very busy month. But I think all the announcements that we got this month were phenomenal. From the starters returning to a bunch of new Pokemon for the DLC, all the info that we got for the DLC as a whole. This fall's gonna be special, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think we were really spoiled in terms of like news because we got a lot of them.
Yeah, and like it didn't feel like they revealed too much either, which is very commendable.
Yeah, I feel like it was like the right amount of news.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So,
like you get information enough to be like excited for the DLC.
yeah, and they also did these tiny teaser campaigns, like for Poltergeist, for example.
Yeah.
So I think the Pokemon Company managed to find their sweet spot this generation, and I'm glad, even though it took a while for the news cycle to catch up again.
Yeah, we had dark times like Gen 8, for example, with like the game itself, how it looks, and
Christ.
like VGC, the Z word, and like
Don't-
now they're like learning everything from that, and like made it even better now with Gen
Ye-
9.
yeah, and I can only imagine how much better it's going to be once the next generation rolls around in a few years. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet, as we got a bunch of good stuff coming out this fall in itself. Because not only do we have the Teal Mask coming out this month, but we also have Detective Pikachu Returns next month, along with a bunch of other games between October and November. Holy crap!
Yeah, this end of the month, this end of the year as a whole is like really loaded with games.
This fall is fucking stacked as shit.
And next winter is looking really, really stacked as well.
Yeah, and like, who knows how much, like, how they're gonna follow 2024 up from this?
Yeah, I wonder how like spring is gonna look like, because like this is like some heavy stuff right here. From fall to winter, they're looking like heavily stacked.
Yeah, and like September just begun, and Nintendo typically holds their next big Nintendo Direct around this time of year, so who knows what's gonna come out by then too, if one does happen.
Yeah, honestly, I think that this direct is gonna be like a big direct.
I mean, who knows? If the Nintendo Direct does happen this month, don't expect anything regarding Pokemon, because
Yeah, Pokemon news. I don't think there's. I think there's probably just gonna be like, oh yeah, DLC coming soon.
if anything, it's probably just gonna be additional info for the Indigo Disc.
Yeah, maybe.
But anything else
But
like that,
probably, I wouldn't be surprised if we got like nothing.
yeah, like I would expect it to see nothing Pokemon related if one were to happen this month. But we said that about the last Direct, and they touched on Scarlet Violet info right at the start of the Direct. So who knows?
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
You never freaking know.
It's always weird like that.
But honestly, that's what makes it more exciting, because you never know what's gonna happen. It keeps you
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
toes.
You could go like to the Nintendo Direct, and then next thing you know, they're announcing like Gen 5 remakes.
Jesus Christ. That's kind
I
of
mean,
fun.
I don't think it's happening, but it would be hilarious if it did. If it did
That's a bit out there. All
Thinking
right.
about the fact that Gen 4 remakes was like just 2021.
Yeah. So that's a bit soon. That is a bit soon.
Yeah, we're getting Gen 5 remakes in 2028.
I mean, we could do like a speculation episode on that alone, but that's a discussion for another day. But I think that's all I can add in regards to last month. Just to recap my thoughts. I think this was a banger month for Pokemon. Lots of great announcements, and the fall's looking great. I'm excited. What about
Yeah,
you,
I'm
Rick?
really excited for the games that are going to come out this fall.
Yeah, Sam. Like, and not just Pokemon, but also like other like Nintendo games in general. Like, this is gonna be a good end of the year in terms of new game releases.
Yeah, and I'm also excited for like winter, because winter got some really big games coming out.
Mm-hmm. So who knows what's gonna come next after in between Teal Mask and Indigo Disc. Only time will tell. So anyway, is there anything that you want to add before we close then?
That is all from me.
Alrighty. So I think that is going to wrap up for this week then. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, through it all, we're still a family. One to the family. Goodbye.